Today we'll be taking a look at some interesting names that were backstage in full ring gear, more information about live fans, and going over WrestleMania. Let's start things off with the live WWE fans. WrestleMania 37 was the first time WWE had live fans in attendance for an event since the first week of March 2020. Well over a year of Performance Center matches, cinematic matches, and Thunderdome matches with no fans in sight. It was really hard, and the WWE product took a big hit, especially during the Performance Center era, where you were watching Raw and SmackDown in basically a big open gym with nothing but silence throughout the entire show. It was strange. It was something we've never seen before or thought we'll ever see. A WWE show with no live fans. Fans play a big role in all live sports, but they probably have the biggest role in WWE. You take a great show and combine it with a great electric crowd, and that's what creates these memorable moments. Of course, the Thunderdome was a massive upgrade compared to the Performance Center. We hear piped-in noise, and we see the faces of fans in the virtual crowd, so it was a step in the right direction, but obviously not the real thing. However, WrestleMania 37 was the event that provided us with a real live crowd for the first time in forever. Yeah, there was lots of weather issues and weather delays, but the crowd was still hyped up, and it was still a big historic moment to get fans back in the building. WWE claims it was a sold-out crowd of roughly 25,000 fans for both nights of WrestleMania. However, reports claim that WWE's report of having a sold-out crowd is a bit off. Reports claim that Night 1 had around 10 to 11,000 fans, and Night 2 was closer to 15,000 fans. So don't know what's going on there. Someone is not telling the truth here. That's a big difference between 25,000 fans and 11,000 fans. So who knows where they got that big number from? Maybe they were counting the cardboard cutouts. We don't know. But either way, regardless of the truth about how many fans were there, it was still nice to see. Even Vince McMahon and the WWE roster came out to welcome the fans back, which was a nice moment. The only issue is that the fans aren't back full time. The fans returning were basically just a special situation for WrestleMania. WWE has found a new home for the Thunderdome, and they'll be there for several more months, which cancels out any other rumors of them going back on tour, at least for the next few months. A lot of fans have pointed out how weird it's going to be to go from this massive live crowd with thousands of fans back to looking at faces on virtual screens in the Thunderdome. As sad as that is to think about, it does look like it's going to be the reality for at least the next few months. So now, the question is, when will live fans return again? If things don't get any better around the world, reports claim that the big three WWE shows may be the only shows that will have live fans. Those three big shows are Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. These three are no doubt WWE's biggest few shows of the year, and those few shows are expected to all have live fans in attendance from this point on. SummerSlam being the next event where we could see fans attend. As far as fans are on Raw and SmackDown, that still remains as a big question mark. Could be summertime, could be fall time, or even lead into early next year. No one really knows as of this current moment. The WWE weekly shows don't have a timetable for the fans to return at, but we can at least expect to see live fans in attendance for the bigger WWE shows. Were you excited to see fans back in attendance? WrestleMania 37 also brought up a lot of questions about some superstars that were backstage. Everyone seemed to be backstage for WrestleMania, current superstars and retired superstars. One thing that fans noticed was that there were a lot of superstars in ring gear during night number 1 of WrestleMania. When the roster came out to welcome back the fans, there were a few superstars up on the stage during night 1, like Daniel Bryan, Edge, and others, who were in full ring gear, even though they had no match that night. There was even pictures of other superstars like Alexa Bliss, Peyton Royce, and more, who were all backstage in full ring gear during night 1 of WrestleMania. The easiest answer for this was probably just the fact that they were filming promotional footage, taking new render pictures, and other things of that sort. But here's where the interesting name that was backstage in full ring gear comes up. Reports claim that former Divas champion Alicia Fox was not only backstage at WrestleMania, she was also in full ring gear backstage as well. Remind you that Alicia hasn't wrestled in WWE in a couple of years now and wasn't even a part of Raw Legends Night as a WWE legend. So everyone figured that she was just fully retired. So to hear that she was backstage in full ring gear raised a few eyebrows. Fans have said that maybe it was a virtual meet and greet and other things like that, which could be true, but it still had people talking about Alicia Fox. Was it just for pictures and footage, or was there a deeper meaning to Alicia Fox being backstage in full ring gear? That's a question everyone has been asking, so we'll see if we get a reveal about what Alicia Fox and others were filming backstage at WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, let's briefly go over some of the biggest moments of the show. Cesaro vs. Seth Rollins stole the show night one and had one of the best matches of the night. Fans were also seriously impressed with Bad Bunny's in-ring performance. Fans were harsh towards Bad Bunny at the start of his WWE run, but after he performed at WrestleMania, the fans were left in awe, and they're already calling it one of the best in-ring matches by a celebrity in WWE history. Bad Bunny was extremely serious about his in-ring debut and trained 5 to 6 months for that big match, and he absolutely delivered and left fans impressed. Will Bad Bunny stick around in WWE? Well, WWE aired a promotional video for Bad Bunny's tour that shows Triple H congratulating him on his WWE run and sending him back to tour. So it does look like he's done in WWE for the time being. Sasha Banks vs. Bianca Belair was beyond words. This match was absolute magic and something special from bell to bell. You even had that big moment where they're both in the ring before the match and Bianca can't hold it together and was already emotional. That moment alone just speaks volumes about what this moment really meant. For the first time in nearly 40 years of existence, that a women's singles match main evented WrestleMania. Fan footage even caught Sasha Banks smiling non-stop after the match because of how happy she was. Hopefully the booking for Bianca Belair continues to be great because they need to capitalize on all of her momentum right now. The Fiend and Randy Orton from night 2 did leave fans extremely heated. Even the live fans booed the closing moments of the match. But as we now know, the loss was the start of his new inner conflict between Alexa and The Fiend. It was also nice to see Bayley come out and have a role, but fans weren't excited to see Bayley just get thrown down the ramp by the Bellas. The main event of night 2 was another hard-hitting match with a shocking result. Everyone expected Edge to win, but Roman Reigns pulled off the win by stacking Edge and Daniel Bryan both on top of each other for the pin. The pin was a great moment because it puts that annoying argument of, well, you didn't pin me, straight to bed. Roman Reigns pinned both men at the same time, so they can't come up with any excuses. They both got pinned. They both lost. That pin was perfect for that sort of reason right there. But what are your thoughts on WrestleMania and all of the other stories from today? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.